right foot is near the hip, my left leg is on top of that. In this scenario, you don't need to keep an overhook. I absolutely could keep my overhook. The problem with keeping an overhook is what we've discussed before. If there's no weight on his back, if I keep my right foot over here, Kyle can square me off and he can bring his head up and I can lose everything, okay? If I bring the leg up on the back and I'm not built for it, okay? If I bring my leg up on the back, sometimes my arm can get in the way and we may struggle. But even if we don't struggle, say, hey, I have the build for it, I'm lean enough, or it doesn't affect me to bring my leg up on the back and get into a good clamp. Once I'm in a good clamp, I'm looking for trap triangle, but he knows and he runs around for omoplata. As he exits, watch where my arm gets stuck in here. And we've identified a huge problem and a set of counters that Kyle can do that are cartwheel based, that if this arm is stuck under this, there's nothing stopping him from just cartwheeling right over my body. And now I'm stuck, I'm pinned, and it's going to be a cross side. So if I keep the overhook too long, when I bring my knee through, there is a possibility that he sprints over my body, and I had no defense to that. Remember, the defenses are all based on my right arm. So if we want to play a little more conservative, if I cannot trap triangle right away, then I'll take my arm out. So if you're in an overhook and you're able to shake this knee through, and then I go to the clamp, if I'm more conservative in nature, you take your arm out. My right hand holds the shoulder, my left elbow clamps down on the elbow, and then I fight him from here. Because now it's the exact same as when we went from Williams to clamp. You're good. Your bases are covered. He's not posturing up because of leg on the back. He's not omoplata, and if he does, look at the fast transition. When we go from Williams or clamp to omoplata, to not even omoplata, but to get ready, if I'm thinking about an omoplata scenario, because he hasn't postured up, so I'm not trap triangling yet. Anytime there's a threat or a thought of omoplata, look at this arm position. It's already over his back. This hand is going towards his wrist, so that if he sprints around, there it is. My arms are in a good place. They're right where they should be, okay? If he stays on his side, we already saw it. Hey, this is a quick omoplata right here. This arm that was clamped down is now over the back already. I'm countering all the cartwheel triangles immediately, and look, it's in a really nice position right away. So, if we overhook and get the knee through, my suggestion is that if he stays low, that we take this arm out when we go to clamp. Now, if I go to clamp and Kyle drives me flat, and he starts to drive me flat, remember, this is an exceptional position. Look at the angle. It's massive. So now we can do a knuckle peel, and I can move to trap triangle with the overhook. That's awesome, because now I've kept him down, I've kept him tight. The arm is controlled. He can't sprint out from omoplata if he decides to come up for this posture. So no problem, we can keep the overhook. That's all good. You can also keep the overhook if you choose to forward roll or drive forward if his head stays low. So one more example of that is if I have an overhook and he stays very low and I don't want to wait on him, we can prop our body up. This leg comes over the head or over the far shoulder. If it stays here, I can now drive forward, and I can come up to these positions where I have a position where I have an overhook, and this can easily turn into this figure four grip, which makes it very difficult for him to pull his arm out. So and that can happen from closed guard as well. So we have that nice overhook there, and that's it can relate to Williams guard. We have to remember in the beginning I said these guards are all related. I had an overhook guard far before I had a Williams guard. I had this as my main staple of attacks before I had the framing system. The framing system just became an easier way for me personally to get to the trap triangle than an overhook, because it solves more problems than an overhook does. So that it became that crystal clear way. It's a much easier way to get the trap triangle. Remember as well with overhooks, we can win some of these same pummel battles on his defenses. With typically, when you're in a Williams guard, it's exceptionally hard to bring this arm out. You can't really, because the way the weight is and the frame is on the shoulder, he can't pummel the arm out. So he cannot circle this arm out. When you're in overhook, Kyle can circle his arm back, and come out through the front. So when I do have an overhook, if he puts his hand down by my hip, he circles his arm out. Remember now, I can always catch that, and look where we are, okay? Can always catch that and go reverse grip Kimura. So this is a good transition on, if you're on an overhook, to utilize the same grip that we did to win the pummeling battle. So once again, if I need to do that, if I'm out to my side and I feel him circling, look, the hand is like a Venus flytrap. I can place my left thumb on my ribs as he brings that hand in. It locks into play, and I can either put his arm there, I can salsa through, or I can continue to push his arm back past, and we've looked at how we can drag and get his back on an earlier video. So overhook can lead to clamp, can lead to trap triangle, can lead to this reverse Kimura grip, can lead to omoplata, can lead to us either forward driving him or a little bit weaker roll, which we've talked about, the pluses and minuses of that, whether I'm able to catch up with the leg, or whether I'm able to pin him and monoplata him, or follow him and get an arm lock. But it's very similar. So these things are very, very similar. They're related, and it's ideal that you understand the relationship between them, so that if you don't want to use this framing system, you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. But I really would love it if we had great closed guards. So we had an overhook or